you right here because you blocked me.
But over here. Man, it's big enough. Man, it's big enough over here.
This meeting is now called to order. Welcome, everybody. It's nice to see everybody tonight. I'd like to start off with the invocation. We're going to invite Pastor Jim. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but I'm going to give it a shot. Wolstenholme. Did I get it right? Perfect. Come on up. We're going to do the invocation. Please stay in your seats. Afterwards, we will be following up with the flag salute. So, Jim.
Almighty God, we're glad to be here today to be part and have freedom to meet and take care of city business. We pray, dear Lord, for each one here who will make decisions and listen. Lord, give us the strength and the wisdom to discern and to make good decisions. We pray, Lord, for honesty and integrity and strong willingness to work together in a sense of unity. Thank you, Lord, for the great gifts you give, for all the blessings that you pour out on us, whether deserved or not. We pray for your blessing on this meeting tonight. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Jim. Okay, now we're going to do roll call or
Either way.
let's do roll call.
Mayor Serna?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores?
Here.
Councilmember Saros?
Here.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Here.
Councilmember Villarreal?
Here.
All present.
All right, now we're going to do pledge of allegiance led by Councilmember Sanchez. Please rise.
Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
May be seated. Have an approval of the agenda.
I'll second.
A motion from Councilmember Saros, second from Councilmember Sanchez, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Moving on to public comment. The public is invited to comment in any subject under the jurisdiction of the Lindsay City Council. Please note that speakers that wish to comment on a regular item or public hearing on tonight's agenda will have an opportunity to speak when public comment for that item is requested by the mayor. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person and 30 minutes for the total comment period, unless otherwise indicated by the mayor. The public may also choose to submit a comment before the meeting via email. Public comments received via email will be distributed to the council prior to the start of the meeting and incorporated into the official minutes. However, they will not be read aloud. Under state law, matters presented under public comment cannot be acted upon by the council at this time. I'd like to move into council reports. I'll go ahead and start it off. All right.
Sorry, we have to take the public comment.
Public comments, I'm sorry. Is there any public comments at this time?
The green light.
Yes.
It's like a light yellow green light.
Yes.
Good evening, my name is Mercy Vera. I'm here this evening to represent the Art Center. I want to invite you to our 2 exhibits that we're doing today, this month, in the month of October 5th. It's from 1 to 4. We have 2 local artists. One is from our hometown. That's Doreen Enriquez Villamota. She's going to be presenting her artwork. She makes her own jewelry, Latina jewelry. And the other one is Richard Edenes. He's from Visalia, and he specializes in sculpture and bronze, steel and bronze sculptures. So I have a flyer here. I really would like you guys to participate. The Veritas Art Center, really, one of their missions is to have space for our artists to be able to display their work. So on that day, it's October 5th from 2 to 5 p.m. 2 to 5 p.m. October 5th. It's a Saturday.
Thank you.
So we're dedicated.
Thank you, Mercy, for the update. Is there anyone else wishing to make a public comment? Please come forward.
Hi, I'm Regina Loya, and when I volunteered to raise $5,000 for the Lindsay lights, it didn't mean that I was raise on myself. I had a wonderful crew, I'm involved in different groups, so we, as a chamber, we did an awesome job, Rotary. The city came in and helped the Arts Center, and I want to thank everyone, the city of Lindsay, for coming in and buying potatoes. And I didn't see some of your faces, but I saw your families there, which is good. Okay, so, we are pretty close, I'm pretty close to the amount, and I'm just waiting for one little fund, donation. And after that, I've already talked to them and told them, to the city manager, and told them that hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have a $5,000 check in his hand. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to make public comment? Hearing none, public comment is not closed. Moving on to council reports. So welcome everybody, it's good to see everybody. I know I've seen a lot of you guys at the groundbreaking ceremony tonight. It's a great event. I mean, it was an event that was a long time coming. And it's great to see something in action that's been in talks for a long time. And I know there was a lot of moving parts in that, and I'm thankful to every organization that contributed to that groundbreaking, and I'm excited to see the faces coming forward. So, that being said, I had an opportunity to attend TCAT meetings, TCTA, TCRTA meetings. I hope I got all that right, but it's nice to be able to sit in and have the discussions and conversations about future funding for upcoming projects. And I know some of the projects that are in the works right now, we're really addressing and just looking for opportunities to secure funding sooner. I know there's going to be more meetings. I'll keep you guys posted as they come, and I'm looking forward to all the new developments that are going to be happening pretty soon. Also, the candidate forum was an opportunity to sit there and connect with the public and just really engage with them in conversation and spend time with them. I know that's a much needed modality that we need for us in this community, to just reach out and connect with them. The other thing too was the town hall meeting. Thank you for everybody who put that on, because it was one of those informational pieces that really cleared up a lot of, or dispelled a lot of the things that people may not understand. And then there was an opportunity to engage in discussion with them as well. And then we answered some of the questions, and that was just one town hall meeting. We're gonna have another one coming up in October. I'm not sure on the date. The 9th. Okay, so come on out. If you have further questions, please voice your concerns. That's the opportunity that we have to do that. The other thing is the badge bidding ceremony for our new chief, Rob Moore. Like I said, welcome. It was a great event. I know there was a lot of people speaking on his behalf, and I think City of Lindsay did a good choice on bringing him to Lindsay and following this year. Congratulations. The downtown marquee lighting ceremony. That was a great event. I know the Lindsay Theater has evolved over time, and it's one of those pieces that it started out as a theater, then a playhouse, and then performances, and then concerts. And so I know they've been working hard on advertising the theater with marquee, and just seeing the lighting at night was nostalgic for me. I knew that growing up, and it's good to see all the hard work that went into that paid off. And thank you for everybody that was involved with that. Also, as I said before, the groundbreaking ceremony. It was a great event, and just to connect with people again. I'm not going to talk too much about that because I know a lot of the council members attended, and so I'll pass that on. So we'll start with council member Wilbur.
Good evening.
That was my report.
Good evening. I want to start off by talking about Barella Boxing. They have been around for years and giving back to our community. They help our youth out in so many ways. I had quite some notes down, guys. So some kids can't afford to join boxing programs, so they're willing to help out and do free memberships and just really get our kids connected. So I would ask for you guys to go and check them out, support them, and figure out a way to continue to make their program successful and grow. And I also want to make a shout out to Miguel Pedraza, a 14-year-old Lindsay learner, who will be competing in nationals next week. So let's way to represent Lindsay and wish her good luck. I also attended the TCAG meeting. There was a lot of positive information for Lindsay. There was something new for me. I'm happy to announce that the transit station was a topic of discussion, so let's hope that that design goes in. And I found out there's a lot of money opportunities, so I'm excited to bring that back to Lindsay. Show us the money. I also went to the chief meeting. It was a good turnout. Welcome again.
Thank you.
The town hall was a success. The information that was presented was really, really good and knowledgeable. I just wish more people would have came out and supported it, instead of chiming in on Facebook. So then today, the Olive Bowl. I mean, if you grew up here in Lindsay, you know how awesome it's going to be to see that field, ready to be played on. So I'm excited for that. And then I would also like to invite the community to I'll add JJ Karen, those JJ Karen's, our volleyball game is gonna be open to the public on October 11th. So it's gonna be at 10:30, and I believe we're playing Exeter. There's some flyers located over there. So I would love for everybody to turn out and show up and support our runners. That's it for me.
Thank you, Missy. Moving on to Councilmember Flores.
Yes, I went to the groundbreaking, 102. I had to go to my sister's house because she has her house always with her air conditioner full force. And I was able to sit down and watch ABC Urban News. And they had a really nice aerial shot of Lindsay, and they were focusing on the theater marquee. And I mean, my God, you know how you live in Lindsay and you see Lindsay, but then when you see it the way they had it, area, oh my God, it looks so beautiful. So anyway, I'm in awe. That's it.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Saros.
Good afternoon, everyone. Brief report from me. Shout out to the mayor, Serena, for joining us at the Larry County Fair Board luncheon. Thank you for joining us, and it was a great turnout as well. I also went to the meeting for Chief Moore. Great turnout. You just sought out so highly for really thankful to have you again. Welcome. Groundbreaking, as everyone mentioned. Wish more people were there as well, but nonetheless, great project for the community. And I passed by the pickleball courts. They look great. I can't wait to meet you guys whenever they open the public. That's a challenge on the record. That's it for my report. Oh, sorry, one more thing. I went to the town hall meeting, and I went to the town hall meeting and great discussion. Members of the public also had good ideas on how to convey information more effectively, particularly Nate, I don't know if she's here now, but really good information. We should be using visuals, ways to absorb information more clearly, more easily for residents, and shout out to not only her, but everyone else who helped convey and absorb that information. Now I'm done.
Thank you, Councilmember Sanchez.
Good to see everybody here. I went to the town hall, it was a little late. I was a little disappointed only because I thought I was gonna find a lot more people here. There wasn't, but I do understand that, people they get out late, working in the town, so I understand that. We're also gonna have another one, which is, I believe, when is the next one?
October 9th.
And that's
It's the Spanish one.
Spanish, but hopefully, we get a lot more people that turn up there. I wasn't able to make it to the groundbreaking, that they had today. I actually went the wrong day, so, so I was unable to make it today, but I heard it was really nice. I did pass by there, and I see that they already knocked some things down. And I was kind of sad to see that, but I'm also happy because I know it's gonna turn out really nice. And it's a long time coming. And I'm also sorry that I wasn't able to make it to your thing, but I was at work during that time and I can only ask for so much time off, but I know you were in good hands. So again, welcome. And thank you. And that's it.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Sanchez. And I'm before I call up staff updates. Just want to say, hey, thank you to city services and everybody who's involved in really creating change in this town. And we've seen the roads starting and some of them are in completion and some others are coming up. So thanks for all your hard work. Really appreciate what you guys are doing. I know the roundabout is complete now. So all of those little things are really, really taking a hold of Lindsay and people are noticing all of your guys' hard work. Thank you guys for that. So at this time, I'd like to call up for staff update of city services.
Peter Shuffle.
Welcome.
I just wanted to mention, the tree trimming contractor is complete, done. They got done last Friday here at City Hall. So they'll be coming one more year. I believe they have one more year for the contract, it's a 3-year contract. That got done. We also, city services crew went out to the roundabouts, both roundabouts. They blew them out, they blew out the islands, and we scheduled the street sweeper to come in and go around everything. So you guys notice they're pretty clean. I mean, they're looking good, especially with the trees. Also with Hermosa and Westwood roundabout, that one we're gonna close it out in December because we're doing a 90-day maintenance process that we have to do with the contractor. He has to maintain the weeds, the shrubs that they installed and everything.
I'm sorry, when was it going to be closed up?
December 3rd, so that would be the 90 days.
Thank you for that.
Also, we had a pre-construction meeting for Larry and Foothill yesterday with the contractor, with the school district, with city staff, trying to come up with a game plan on starting that project. We're actually gonna have 2 contractors come in. LSID is also doing a main water replacement. So they're under an equipment permit. So we had everybody there, so with Merced and try to figure out how to deal with the drop off and the pickups. So I think we got a game plan, so this is actually gonna start hopefully this Thursday, the project. So
That's the Foothill and Slurry project.
yeah. And also, the Pagemore slurry seal project, that one is completed, the slurry seal is completed, now they're just gonna do the final striping. Also, we did confirm that we are going to do the cleanup event October 19th, and that's gonna be on a Saturday from 7 AM to 2:30. We're passing out flyers at City Services, Finance Department, the Wellness Center, posted on social media, Armando doing that. Then we have some banners being made. They're gonna be throughout the city. Let everybody know. Also, last town meeting that we had, or last week we had the town meeting, resident asked for us to update with the debt meter list. So we'll do those updates the first meeting of the month. That way we can report back the last month. That's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate the update. A lot of things happening. Thank you guys. For finance.
Good evening. Good to see you again for the groundbreaking. Finance has been busy closing out last year and updating the budget that will be brought back to you at the end of this month. Also, myself and Armando has been meeting with all of our different groups within the city to update them and educate them on Prop 218 for the water and sewer rate study. So it's been a busy time in finance. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that update. Much needed information coming soon. Anybody from HR?
Nothing to report this week.
Thank you. Public safety?
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to report, well, first of all, thank you for the warm welcome for the city, the council, and everybody. I've been working with all the department heads and everybody's just been wonderful. I wanted to report, we did receive this BFC grant. It was only about $6,000, but it does help the volunteer fire with training and some equipment. So that does help, to further some of the things that they do. We were just awarded that. It comes through the Department of Forestry CAL FIRE. So it's no match or anything. It's just money that we use for them. I have an appointment with the superintendent in a week or so to meet with him and talk about different things. He just coming back. I know Tom, but I'm going to make my rounds with Adriana and meet all the principals. But I want to meet with Tom first and meet with all the schools and kind of get some expectations and just talk with the folks out there with things that have been going on throughout the country, throughout the city and other cities, and with all the scares that have been going on, just to make touch with them, give them my contact information directly, so we can communicate better and more efficiently. I do want to make a comment about the marquee and the palms and everything. It's just in the short time that I've been back, the city is just, I mean, I could see it coming. And, the palm trees, the coming into town with the turf at the, right there at Palm Terrace, and just all the beautiful things that are happening. The cleanups with the graffiti and the murals, the new flags. I mean, just a lot of things. And it's just starting to be an infectious. I think the people that are seeing that throughout, the citizens, and everybody's seeing that. I watched somebody walk down the street the other day when I was waiting for the burger over at Bob's. Somebody was walking down the street, they actually reached down and picked up a piece of paper and dropped it off in a trash can. So I think it's infectious to people to see things starting to look better. That's one of the things at Disneyland, that's part of their job, the workers, is when they see something, they pick it up. So I'm hoping to see that continue. So anyway, good job, everybody, the city services and everybody that's working hard to get there. That's all I have.
Thank you for that update, Rob. Recreation services for Logan.
Just updates on a couple of the projects at the wellness center. The pickleball court's almost completed. We're just waiting for the netting for the railing, so the ball doesn't fly into City Park and our storage area. But once I have that date, I'll let you guys know. We're gonna do a little ribbon cutting. And then update on the skate park project. We met with the company last week, Joseph and I, and then I met with Matt to confirm, hey, we're good with the setup. So we did tweak one little thing, but we're good to go. We closed down or fenced in the skate park. We're gonna start demo very soon, and then hopefully by Thanksgiving, we should have the new ramps and new layout design at skate park, and it's gonna be completely beginner friendly. I think the tallest ramp we have is 3 feet rather than 6, so it's gonna be a lot more safer. Liability should be a lot better, but those are 2 updates I have.
Quick question for you, now that I have you up there. I know the skate park we've been talking about for a while, but are we going to utilize that current location where it's underneath that arbor?
Yes.
Or is it going to be across the street?
No, I'll be at the current shelter area, the skate park.
A lot of people think it's across the street, but it's underneath the arbor.
So it'll be the same location. We're just doing upgrade. So the ramps should last a lot longer. We shouldn't have the issues with maintenance. So the cost of maintenance will go down.
Thank you for that, Armando. Moving on to city manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. And these updates you want. First of all, maybe your finance director talked a little bit about the budget, but I just want to let you know that the staff is working very diligently going through the budget line by line by line, just looking for opportunities, looking at current services and some of the subscriptions that we have to identify areas where we can cut costs without compromising essential services. And I'm pleased to report that these efforts are already yielding some positive results. We're making steady progress in addressing some of the fund deficits. We already brought the general fund back to you. And they continue to work on enterprise funds, and we'll be bringing those back to you at a later date. And I think that our commitment to fiscal responsibility is really beginning to pay off. And so I'm just excited about the direction we're headed. And I look forward to bringing back those budget updates. I also attended the badge pending ceremony. I was quite surprised at the turnout. I knew it was going to be a big deal, but I didn't realize it was going to be quite that big. The sheriff was here, the undersheriff, all of the administrative staff. We had, I think it was Channel 30 Action News that was here. It was just a great event, and I'll tell you, my favorite part was the tacos. Lieutenant Hanks and Lieutenant Nate did just an amazing job on putting the meal together, and all the rest of the staff contributed, and it was just a great event. And so, moving on in the report, the baked potato fundraiser also attended that on the 16th. I thought it was a huge success. Again, I wasn't expecting quite the turnout. I went down and worked my shift. I think it was from 2 to 4, and I really felt like I was just kind of getting my way. Finally, one of the ladies said, "Just stand there and wave." That's all I did. I don't know how many times. If I had $1 for every time I said, "Pop us my photo," yeah, it was an amazing time. And if you didn't have an opportunity to actually try one of those potatoes, they are just the best. So special thanks to everyone who helped to organize that event and worked so hard to make it a success. And then our meeting with TCAG on September the 17th, Mayor Cerna and Council Member Villarreal and I met with Ted Smalley and Ben Giuliani from TCAG, and we talked about various funding opportunities. And so we'll be bringing some of those items back to you. On the 19th of September, I attended the city manager's meeting in Visalia. It was a packed house. I got the opportunity to meet some city managers that I had not met before. The topic of discussion that day, or the hot topic of discussion, is TCRTA, and we'll be talking to you a little bit more about that. And then the town hall meeting I thought was a success. I too wish there would have been more people here. I thought there was some great dialogue that took place, and I appreciate the efforts that went into helping our residents understand the big picture. And we're looking forward to the next town hall meeting on October the 9th. The Lindsay Theater Marquee Grand Relighting event. This past Saturday, my wife and I attended that event, and it was talking about community. It was just such a wonderful evening, and to hear the story about everything that the theater has been through over the past several years, starting with the graffiti that ultimately damaged the marquee, and then all of the efforts that they have made to try to get that thing back operational. It's a huge success story. And the actual relighting ceremony, oh, thank you, Megan, for showing the picture. It was just phenomenal. It was a spectacular event, and I was very honored to be a part of that event. The olive bowl groundbreaking ceremony this afternoon, I also attended that along with several other city staff and council. Man, it was hot. I think we learned our lesson. The next groundbreaking event we're going to plan for the morning hours when it's a little cooler. But we had a great turnout, and there's a lot of excitement in the air about this project. And so we're excited to see the contractor actually get going, and I know it's going to be a great thing for the community. The Economic Development Committee applications are trickling in for the seats on the Economic Development Committee. Deadline for submittal is tomorrow at 5 p.m. and we'll bring that item back to council on October the 8th. And just as a reminder that the Lindsay Art Association has their Juntos exhibit on display right now, and that's going through September. Actually, it started on September the 6th and then runs through October the 4th. Some really great art pieces. If you haven't had an opportunity to stop and check that out, I would encourage you to do so. They've got not only some paintings, but some, I believe it's called website art. It is quite interesting. Our first Friday coffee talk is scheduled for October the 4th, which is a week from this coming Friday. And we're looking forward to that event. And I think that is all of the items that I have for you, Council.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. And moving on to items 9.1 recognition items. Vanessa, Durant, please come to the podium. Operation of administrators supervisor. You speak. Resolution of commendation and appreciation to Vanessa Durant for outstanding service and dedication to the city of Lindsay while serving as an acting human resource manager. Meeting at regularly scheduled meeting, the city council held September 24th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Whereas Vanessa Durant has faithfully served the city of Lindsay for 17 years, currently holding the position of administrative supervisor in the Department of Public Safety, and whereas Vanessa willingly stepped into the role of acting human resource manager on February 5th, 2024, to address the critical need within the city, and served in that role until July 14th of 2024. And whereas Vanessa demonstrated exceptional collaboration with city staff, providing department support, transparency, and efficiency in human resources processes, and whereas Vanessa's dedication was instrumental in managing multiple recruitments and navigating complex personnel issues with grace and efficiency. And whereas the city of Lindsay greatly values and acknowledges Vanessa's exceptional contribution and leadership within the organization. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the city of Lindsay, on behalf of its staff and community, does hereby express its deepest appreciation to Vanessa Durant for her dedication and outstanding service as acting resource manager.
Yeah. Thank you, Vanessa.
Hey, wait, there's more. All right. Item 9.2, resolution of commendation for Lieutenant Ryan Hayes. Let's go forward. This guy was Johnny on the spot. We appreciate everything. I know you came at a critical time in the juncture where we really should. Thank you for that. Okay, are we ready? All right. Resolution of commendation and appreciation to Lieutenant Brian Hayes for outstanding service and dedication to the city of Lindsay while serving as acting director of public safety. Whereas Lieutenant Brian Hayes has served the city of Lindsay's Department of Public Safety for 22 years. And whereas during a critical period of need, Lieutenant Hayes stepped up to lead as the acting director of public safety on December 28, 2023, and served in the role until September 1st, 2024, providing essential guidance and stability. And whereas Lieutenant Hayes has consistently demonstrated exceptional support for both public safety staff and residents alike, prioritizing safety and community well-being. And whereas his leadership has been instrumental in addressing and fulfilling public safety needs. And whereas the city of Lindsay deeply values and recognizes Lieutenant Hayes' remarkable contributions and leadership. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the city of Lindsay, on behalf of its staff and community, does hereby extend its heartfelt appreciation to Lieutenant Ryan Hayes for his dedication and outstanding service as acting director of public safety.
The council would like to say thank you.
I was successful at this, I would say it really is because I stood shoulder to shoulder with the other members of the department and the city. Vanessa didn't say anything, but she deserves this, I think, more than just about anybody in the city. She did an amazing job when she was here. She really kept things going, and I worked with her for almost 15 years now, and she just does an amazing job every day, and I'm glad that she's getting that recognition. I want to say thank you to Lieutenant Nave, all the other staff. I was pulled over here at City Hall quite a bit. They kept the calls going. They did an amazing job over there. Also, Armando, got to work quite a bit with Armando, Joseph, and then once we started kind of filling some positions. But thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Mayor, could I say a couple of words?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to say about Vanessa and Ryan, these were two of the first individuals that I had contact with coming into the city of Lindsay. And Vanessa was actually the first person who helped with my interview process and the onboarding process, and also Lance as well. And then Acting Chief Hanks was the first person that I had contact with once I got here. He helped me get my computer set up and all the technical aspects of the job. And I'll tell you, I was just so impressed with both of those individuals. And I've told you this before, you have some amazing staff at the city of Lindsay. I'm just honored to be a part of this organization and to work with such talented individuals. That's one thing.
Can we get a round of applause for both? Presentation, item 10.1, Armando, City Assistance Program Act, or City Assistance Program, presented by Armando.
This will be really quick. It's a information item. There's no action to be taken. No action taken tonight. So one thing we've been working on, we started last year and then kind of got busy with other items. So one thing that staff, myself and Stephanie, been working on is an assistant program for the Recreation Services Department to help families in the community take part in our recreation services programs, special events, activities. So we came up with an assistant program for our department. And these are kind of the key points or bullet points for the assistants. So they must be a City of Lindsay resident. Everything that we go over on the app is confidential. Nothing is linked to the public. They'll be in our office, locked up. Must include a current income statement. Must complete application, can't leave anything out, or we'll have you come back and complete that. Until the app is completed, we'll take a look at it. And we're gonna start this January 1st of 2025. And this will be a calendar year long, where they can apply for. This assistance program, they can only apply once per year. Just because the funds right now are low, we just don't wanna use them all right away and then we don't have anything for anybody. So this is kind of a chart of what we're gonna go off of for the discount. The top numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the household numbers. And that's who lives in the household. If there's 2 families, you have to put those total numbers, not your family, that's the whole household. So you'll see 50% for very low income, 40% for low income, 30% medium, and then 20% moderate. So that's what we're gonna be hopefully doing next year. So I just wanted to inform City Council, present it. That way we can officially put it on our fee schedule, and then we'll start beginning of the year. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't, I just want to comment, I think this is amazing. It's catered to the resident, they get to have full access to the, services and being able to afford it, their income and the households like this is great. I really love it.
We try to figure out how to make it fair for everybody, so this is probably the best way.
Thank you for providing that. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Armando. Okay, moving on to consent calendar. Routine items approved in one motion unless an item is pulled for discussion. There will be no separate discussion of these matters unless the request is made. In which event, the item will be removed from the consent calendar to be discussed and voted upon by separate motion. Or do you guys have anything you want to do? Do I have a vote at this time?
A motion from Councilmember Sarah, second from Mayor Serna, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, moving on to action items. Action item 12.1. PCAT presentation letter of support of the Cross Valley Express submitted by David.
Thank you, Mayor. This item has to do with the Cross Valley Express. Some time ago, TCAT had requested a letter of support as they are preparing grant applications to fund implementation of the Cross Valley Express bus service between communities in Tulare County and the Hanford and Pratt Station. And so tonight, I'm pleased to introduce from CCAG, Derek Winning, who is one of their top regional planners, and he's going to provide a presentation on the Cross Valley Express.
Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, council members, it's a privilege to be here today. Thank you. I gotta apologize, Mr. Mayor. You tried to say hi to me out in the parking lot. And I was like, in such a hurry not to be late. I fully gapped the bomb.
No worries.
I got your back over at TCAG. We're really excited that Councilmember L'Oreal, well, that you guys are participating, and we're always ready to put the fun projects partner. A piece of advice I would give you on that is be willing and ready to put up money, right, in the form of match. Many of our fund sources require that. And for our side of things, it's a no-brainer much of the time to put up a small amount to get a big partnership going on larger projects. So do recognize that small cities have issues with that from time to time. So we ask that you work with us. We can usually find.
Sounds good.
And not to take all of your evening, but really a privilege to be here today. I want to just give you some more information about the Cross Valley Corridor and what we've been doing. So a little bit of background. We have an existing rail corridor that's on the San Joaquin Valley Railroad Freight Corridor. On this end of the track, it's not very much utilized, like south of Lindsay. And there's a few trains that run per day through Visalia. And so it's an underutilized asset. And we've been planning for many years now to one day utilize it for passenger rail service. So the project that I'm working on is an express bus service that would be a prelude to that would allow us to establish high quality transit that mimics that corridor, that allows us to do a transit oriented development near transit centers and to build a ridership base so that we can hope to engage state partners and federal partners on investing in passenger rail one day, which will be quite expensive. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pass this up. One of the linchpins for this, and indeed where we believe that there will be ridership demand like we've never seen before for transit in our region, is the coming California high-speed rail, and in particular the Kings Tulare station, which is also on that rail corridor, right? So one day we hope to be able to have express bus first and then passenger rail, and you would be able to, on the same site location, get off of both services and make a quick transfer to high-speed rail. Incidentally, if you didn't know, it gets a lot of press from being from Bakersfield to Merced, which is true. But in Merced, you will be able to have two options to transfer on rail. Amtrak that will take you north of Sacramento, and then also the ACE train that they're extending down to Merced will take you into the Bay Area. So believe it or not, at least to the north, there will be a high level of connectivity with the rest of the state. And from Tulare County, you'll be able to access that. So this is, it's a phased delivery approach. The entire corridor spans from Porterville in the southeast through Lindsay, Farmersville, Visalia, over to Hanford, city of Lemoore, and all the way to NAS Lemoore. And then it's not really on this map here, but even the little town of Huron is on this rail route. So that's the ultimate build out of the corridor. But we want to establish high quality transit, but we want to do it in as much of a cost effective way as possible. And so we tried to identify the most cost effective segment. That initially was from Exeter to NAS Lemoore. They've sort of declined to participate, which is, more power to them. So we've decided to extend the loop to Lindsay. Again, this is going to be an electric bus system that will require opportunity charging on both ends of the route, right? So there's not going to be, it's an express, there's no transfers required. You can ride from one end of it to the other if you wanted to. But we do have some latitude when we get to the end of the leg to do some opportunity charging. So Lindsay has the power supply from SoCal Edison that is sufficient to allow us to do that. In addition, certainly we want to connect the city of Lindsay and its residents to this system. So there is an opportunity to do that. This is more like what I said is the actual rail corridor alignment. And again, you can kind of tell we're doing our best to mimic that. Not perfectly, but that's the idea. And certainly we've been investing in transit centers along this corridor. We've been partnering with self-help enterprises to do affordable housing near them, right? So we put down payments on what we would call transit-oriented development. Some of that has happened here in the city of Lindsay. So, what's the vision? We want an affordable and efficient, but a high quality system. And so we've got some renderings here of what some of the amenities might look like. Again, we expect travelers to use high-speed rail, but we're also having several major employers along this corridor. And we want to be able to connect people where they work. So that's where NAS Lemoore comes in to play. Certainly West Side Visalia Industrial Park and downtown Visalia have thousands of jobs. And so we want to get commuters to use this system as well. And so it needs to be high quality to do that. We're going for 30-minute frequencies, so there's going to be a high level of frequency, again, express, very few stops and no transfers required. We want to average over 30 miles an hour along the segment, and we're going to use zero emission vehicles. Right now we're talking about battery electric. We incidentally were able to test this particular bus here, this double decker. The reason for that is we expect many travelers. We were able to put luggage racks on the bottom floor, and they're very high quality. There's plenty of room for lots of passengers, but also, to be honest, it's a practical situation with battery electrics. For the distance of the route we're talking about, we're able to pack more batteries on a bigger bus. And once you get to an electric bus, you're well over $1 million, and this is just like a few $100,000 more than that, and you will be able to operate better. So full disclosure, we have been applying for grants. Certainly it's not too late to provide us a letter of support. Certainly we want to be invited to have one of our stops at the end of our system here at your new transit center that is underway, or at least in the process. We have applied for a TIRCIT grant, which is state funding for $61 million. We have been invited to do so from CalSTA, and that will cover all of the capital costs, including the bus stops and amenities, all of the vehicles, the charging infrastructure. And one of the main aspects of this project are ITS improvements for what we call transit signal priority. So these buses, when they get to a signal, they're gonna be able to prompt that signal to go green. And that's gonna help us maintain high levels of speed. So this grant, it will fund from Lindsay to the city of Hanford, including the Amtrak station currently, and then also the high-speed rail opens, will transition to stopping there as well. And thereafter, we'll be looking to open up the segment on the Kings County side from Hanford to AS more. Again, these dates kind of with a grain of salt. The earliest, we call what I'm talking about this express bus service with the electric buses, phase 1C. So that's the third bullet here. The first bullet is increasing service between Hanford and Visalia. That's underway and should roll out later this year. Currently, I believe Hanford runs about 3 or 4 buses a day to Visalia and back, and we're going to have Visalia Transit reciprocate that. So we're about double the service in this first year. Again, it's important to know that we're not going to just go 0 to 100, that we're going to be cognizant of the costs and how many riders we have. But our full vision is for phase 1C to be 30-minute headways. I would expect from city of Visalia to Lindsay, that segment may not be as frequent as from Visalia to Hanford when we first roll out. It might be more on the hour than the half an hour, but as ridership increases, then we will bring that frequency up. If you hadn't heard the latest, I'm sorry, but the high-speed rail station, I've heard 32, it might be open. But somewhere in the early 30s, we would expect that to be fully operational and be wanting to tie into it. So we have an aggressive goal for 2027. I'm thinking it'll probably be more like 29 by the time we get all of this work done. There's so many entities involved. But we want to have it ready at least a couple of years before high-speed rail is operational. We did a robust public involvement with our partners. Like I said, we got to borrow one of those buses and we were able to test it. So we tested the route, we tested our scheduling, whether that worked, we tested the battery depletion rate and all of that, and we're confident that we can get this to work on full battery. And this is just some of the many partners we have. And I think that's my presentation, unless there's any questions.
Is there any questions at this time?
I had a question.
Yeah.
You were saying from Lindsay to Visalia, most likely will start at say every hour. So is that direct, or is that it's gonna stop somewhere? Because I do this right now, I don't know, a couple years back, it was from Lindsay to Government Plaza, and then they had a transfer, get another bus and go from Government Plaza to the Visalia, say near the college.
And so what this will be is most of the route stops will come to Visalia and then charge and then turn around and go back the other way. For the segments that come out to Lindsay, that will come out, will charge, then we'll pick up passengers and they'll have a direct route. They'll be able to go all the way to the high speed road. They won't have to transfer. Okay. No transfers. It's just less frequent to come out here, I think, initially as well. That kind of concept.
And I have one question. I think this is a great idea. I really like this. How different is this from the TCRT or TCAT?
Okay.
I know they're both, they're all sort of.
No, that's a great question. So our initial, this is a TCAG sponsored project, right? And TCAG is going to be on the hook for funding the operations, at least for like a 3-year pilot. And we've already set aside various funding sources for that. We still need to come up with some more. But so we're not asking our member agencies or cities on the route or anything to contribute, at least initially for the pilot. We have asked the city of Visalia to be the operator on this express bus service, at least this first phase rollout. So from that perspective, TCRTA will be involved.
there is a caveat to that. Let me, there was something I neglected to mention. I'll bring that up in a second. But so the differences are is TCAT is a rural county intercity service that the county has provided for decades, right? They are members of TCRTA, so TCRTA technically provides that service now. And it's an important feeder system, right? So right now, we're not gonna link up Porterville initially, but we're gonna be working with TCRTA to link Porterville with Lindsay better so that they can connect there. Same thing with bringing folks down from Dinuba or, and then Tulare is a big player. So the grant, we applied for this phase 1C that I've been discussing, but we also applied for bus rapid transit from the city of Tulare to the city of Visalia. So we intend to heavily enhance the ability for folks from Tulare to get up to this service or come to Visalia. Quite frankly, and vice versa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? So at this time,
How long does it take to charge? You said they would be charging here in Lindsay and then charging the bus line?
Yeah, so they'll charge overnight, right? But because of the distance, they have to do what's called opportunity charging. So we've worked out with the base a location to put some charging units. So when the bus gets to that end of the system, instead of immediately turning around and heading back, we've worked into the schedule, depending on where we're at with the phasing, either 15 minutes or 30 minutes of what we call opportunity charge. So that's what we need to happen in Lindsay when the bus gets to Lindsay. Initially, maybe on the hour, it would stay here 15 minutes longer, and you're just topping it off a little bit. And if you do that throughout the day, you basically extend the life of battery for service in that same day.
I have one more.
Sure.
I know you mentioned some of the cities, that did touching, right, that you're gonna support, right, or you're trying to get all these cities to support what's going on. And if that's what you're trying to do, what if somebody doesn't want, let's say a city doesn't want to be part of this, what would happen then? Do you go to the next city?
That's basically what's happening here. I can get back to the slide. So you can see there's this jog. We go from Lindsay up to Farmersville, right? And we're leaving out Exeter. Exeter council indicated that they didn't want to participate. And so it's a free country, right? So we're like, hey, I warned them, we'll be back later. This isn't going away. You know, we want to do rail one day. You guys are on the track, right? So we have really good response from all of our partners. We haven't really had a chance to come out and talk with folks, but we've had discussions in the past with the city staff and that kind of thing. We're pretty confident that you guys would support us. So we're hoping you do. Again, that's a decision for you guys to make. And it's not too late to give us your support. There'll be more grants we'll go after. And certainly it should the council not want to participate, then we'll adapt as well. Right? Stop it. We'll have to stop in Visalia. It might impact Farmersville. We might have to go there less frequency. They don't have the electric grid capacity to charge our buses. So there's a sweet spot for city because of that.
Yeah, previously you had mentioned that there was an amount of money that was needed by cities to participate.
No, I meant that in general, speaking from TCAT, right? So you guys were talking about earlier that you met with Ted and Ben, and we're looking forward to working on transportation projects in the city. That was just advice from me. If they didn't say that to you in general, right? Many of our fund sources would be federal, do require a little match. So I was just throwing it out there as far as not in particular with Cross Valley Corridor and this is a TCAG sponsored project, and we intend to fully fund it at least for the pilot phase. We have many partners. High Speed Rail is a partner. San Joaquin, Amtrak San Joaquin's is a partner. Kings County's a partner. the air district's a partner. We're not that worried about operating funds for this system. And certainly we're not here today to ask you to contribute at all, other than to allow us to utilize your transit center and put some charging infrastructure there to charge the buses.
Questions? I'd like to open this up to public comment. So I'd like to open this up to public comment. If there's anybody who'd like to comment over this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I am so excited. Because I'm the one that will be using that to, especially with the speed bullet train. I'll probably be about 90 years old, so I'm gonna need that lift. I think it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy. Is there anyone else wishing to make public comment?
Motion to approve, just, keep us in mind, don't forget us, motion to approve.
A motion from Councilmember Sarah, second from Mayor Serna. Councilmember Sanchez. Aye. Councilmember Villarreal.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores. Aye. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
What's up?
Thanks for your participation. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 12.2, construction management services contract for Noble and Cat renovation project by Mauricio Mendoza. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Mauricio Mendoza. I'm the engineering tech here at Lindsay. Today I'm going to be covering the construction management services for the contract for the Alden Bowl and Copper renovation project. You should have a about there. Okay, so first of all, the Alden Bowl is a very large scale project. And it's going to require a lot of collaboration between different stakeholders of different types. So a construction management team is highly advisable for this project because it's going to ensure the proper execution of all the required deliverables. Based on the nature of the project, we require to submit an RFQ or request for qualifications, which is dependent only on qualifications rather than cost, which is the procedure. The selection process began with the opening on September 3rd and finished on September 16th with closing. We selected 3 members for the internal selection committee using a 10-point grading scale. Remember, these scores were only dependent on qualifications such as project understanding, relevant experience, and references, not cost. Here's a table outlining the selection scoring. We had three members part of the committee, and the average score is tallied on the right side, with 4 groups having the higher score of 9.8. We've also listed a funding and breakdown for the project. I'm sure you've seen this before, but the funding for the all project is going to depend on 3 primary sources. The State Parks Prop 68 grant, which is about $3.6 million. The Clean California grant, which is about $4.6 million, and the American Rescue Plan Act 1.7 million, totaling for a little above $10 million. Now, concerning breakdown, we have the main construction contract, which is rated at about $7.7 million. And we are planning for construction management services to cost about $579,000, $579,170.27 cents. We also have a breakdown of contingencies. Sorry, the language should be changed, but it's going to include more than that's listed here. It's gonna include the staking services, it's gonna include, the concession stand, as well as the material testing, and other construction related activities. And for this reason, we are recommending that council award and authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Four Creeks of Visalia, in the amount of $579,170.70 for construction management services for the olive oil and coffee renovation project. Are there any questions?
Just one question. So I know we usually work with QK, which are great. So have we worked with Four Creeks before? I'm a big fan of QK.
I don't believe in Four Creeks.
Okay. And you're recommending Four Creeks?
Yeah, it's based on the score for, from the committee. It was an average score based on the 3 committee members.
Okay, I really like QK. I think they're really reliable. That's just my opinion. That's where I stand. No questions.
So just to clarify what you're asking, is that the project is already funded, you're just wanting another source, instead of like, where we used to do it, was recommended source based on the.
Yeah, we were required to submit an RFQ request for qualifications. It's a very large scale project. And based on other similar projects and the federal guidelines, I think according to the Brooks Act, we should be submitting the RFQ that we did. And we should be requesting those professional services that rely on qualifications, not the costs.
So is it clear? Any questions?
So no additional cost.
I'm sorry, it should be listed here.
It was irrigation, landscaping, water paths.
So it should be listed, but under the contingency, there is.
Want to add something to it?
So there will be additional costs. We will have, this is just for the construction management, to cover that project, so they can, Four Creeks can manage the project from start to finish and closing. But there will be additional, costs like from staking, compaction tests, soil tests, that's
Separate from
separate, yes.
Okay, so is this
This is
included
good.
already? What?
So it's in the budget, we have monies for it,
Okay.
it was a lot, it was allocated for this type of services. So yeah, it's not an additional cost on top of,
Okay.
it was already factored in.
Thank you.
We're just getting approval, that way you guys can approve the.
And I think that's what it was, it's just clarifying. So,
Do you know where else they have worked? What other cities have they worked for?
Are you talking about Four Creeks?
Yeah.
They've been around pretty much all around the valley. They've done a lot of work in. Yeah, Hanford.
In Tulare.
Yeah, they're all around that.
Probably excellent.
They're, all these groups are, I'd say all of them are qualified. But, of course, the selection was based on the committee.
And then QK will still be involved because there are city engineers. so
Right.
they'll still be-
Yeah, I mean, since they're already involved, I think we should just work with them. That's just my opinion. But
Will you get a discount because they're already.
They did submit, so they were one of the submitters. So.
is Four Creeks
we're not-
here? Is there representative Four Creeks? I'd like to be convinced.
No, I don't believe.
Okay, is QK here? QK?
No, nobody's here.
Council, if I could just add a question regarding Four Creeks. I have worked extensively with them in the past. They are a solid engineering firm and they excel in construction management services. I know QK does a good job too, but this RFQ process, there were independent panel members who, and the way the RFQ process works, they have to go through the qualifications, their experience, their references, and the evaluation committee doesn't look at the price. That's done after the fact. And that's the way this process played out. I think Four Creeks will do a fine job for us. And to Mauricio's point, regarding the importance of having a construction management firm. Remember that one of the caveats for us getting this project approved was allowing staff to value engineer all phases of this project so we can continue to save money and hopefully kind of gain some ground on the back end of the project. And that's one of the things that Four Creeks is known for, is their ability to do value.
Okay.
You don't need money by saying that.
If there's no more questions, Marty Shore, and then finish public comment. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you. Great job.
Let's open the side room for public comment. If there's anybody wishing to speak, step forward. And then do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. I'll second.
We have a motion to approve from Mayor Pro Tem Flores, second from Councilmember Sanchez. Councilmember Villarreal. Aye. Councilmember Saros.
Upstate.
And Mayor Sherman.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1 abstained.
Somebody feel like that's your first time.
On to item 12.3, agreement with VL Friday Night Markets and services related to the Friday Night Markets. Anybody in falls?
Thank you, Mayor. So giving you a little background, back on February the 28th of 2022, there was an agreement between the city and Bell Friday Night Markets for the operation of the Friday Night Market. Then on February the 14th of 2023, the first addendum was executed, which just extended the term of the agreement for an additional year. And it is directed by council at the April 11th, 2023 meeting. Staff at that time negotiated a new contract with BL Friday Night Market that was subsequently approved on October the 24th of 2023. The new agreement reflected some changes, including a new flat rate of $3,000 for the market session, a revised market boundary map. They amended the date in which the final report for market operator was due. And that was the amended agreement. I can tell you the city has enjoyed a great relationship with BL Friday Night Market. We witnessed a lot of great outcomes and benefits from the market, and with the current agreement set to expire on November the 15th, staff has reviewed the contract language in existing agreement to ensure that the agreement's up to date and compliant with current requirements. Draft agreement with the track changes enabled is attached to the staff report for your review and reference. It's redlined so you can see exactly what is being recommended for change. And with that, I'll open this item up for discussion. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions? I've heard nothing but good things about both the operator and the public. The ad hoc committee hasn't encountered any issues, but we have stepped in, settle any disputes or anything like that. The only change I see here is any necessary repairs performed by the city at the cost of such repairs will be deducted to the deposit. That's the only change I see in the contract, but you know, I don't see a problem by redoing this contract. That's all I have.
Just for further clarification, there were some additional changes, mostly having to do with some of the insurance limits and some of the, like the deposit, the prorated dollar amount for the monthly fee for access to some of the electrical outlets.
Could we motion to table this so we have time to like really look into this?
Is there any like areas of confusion that we can maybe talk about right now, or
Or someone to table it to.
Yeah, I don't wanna like make a decision now, like make sure I read the whole thing.
I'm okay with tabling it as long as it's before their execution date.
So we have a motion from Councilmember Villarreal. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Saros? Councilmember Sanchez?
I'll support the, I'm ready to vote, I'll support the table for these two. I'll support it.
Okay. So that was a yes
That
to,
was-
okay. Councilmember Sanchez? For table and Mayor Pro Tem Flores. Okay, motion carries to table this.
Just
Fine.
for a point of clarification, are there certain items that council would like the staff to look into? Further clarification or?
No, I just want more time to like look over the contract and stuff like that, because it looks like there's more than one change. Yeah, you know,
I did notice that there's.
yeah, there's a lot of red here, it's not just one thing, so.
There and, your vegetable.
And I've worked with the operator before, she's more than happy to answer any questions too, we could do. I've worked with staff as well, since I haven't encountered any else, but I'm sure we'll get our questions answered.
Well, can we have her come up here?
Yeah, you know what, we're gonna actually open it up.
At the same time as we're reviewing also, the tabling it, we can also consider if she has any.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely, I'd like for her to be part of it too, you know?
Virginia, do you wanna come up, you have a public comment?
Welcome.
Well, I went over the contract with, and, we looked it over. I had some questions, this morning, and I met with, Joseph, and we went through the questions that we had, and, actually, the insurance, I think, is about the same as what I had last year. I talked to my insurance, and, he said, well, we've got all that covered. The only thing was restrooms, okay, so you know what, if that's what they need, then, you know, yes. I would just get that because that's like $1,100 a week extra, on so many bathrooms, but you know, if that has to be done, the way the roof are, then that's what we have to do.
Wait, I thought you have bathrooms up there.
Right.
Is there contract request for more bathrooms?
Yes. Well, because of the code.
Yeah, there's a coding here.
Yeah.
Says it requires.
So, yeah, and,
Certain level.
so, we went over it this morning and, you know, so it has to be done and, you know, I wanna work with everything. I wanna be able to do everything right. I also, I think that's what
Appreciate your.
so I'm pretty aware of all the changes that were made, so.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to make public comment?
Since the Friday night market has been on, no one has given more to the city than the Friday night market. And so I usually say, that's a lot of money for the city to get 3,000 a week. But there's a lot of other stuff because when you guys raise the price, then it also goes on vendors too. So I think that we need to think of the vendors too. And they bring a lot to the city. And I always think that it's always, you guys ask too much. That's why I think.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Public comment for this section is now closed. At this time, before we move on to section 12, item 12.4, we're going to take a quick recess, 5-minute recess, stretch legs, the rest of the things. We'll be occupied. Right.
No, I do.
Let me know if they-
All good.
You said not to talk to strangers now.
All right, guys, welcome back to the presentation during the break. Hope everybody had a great meeting. Moving on to our next item.
If I could just, on the record, I have to head out to attend to a family matter. So I'll be heading out at 7:23. If I could just request to table discussion item 13.1, I really would like to be part of it. Motion to request it to table to the next meeting.
All right, I'll look at it.
Second, or you want me to second?
You want a second?
I'll second.
Okay. So we have a motion from Councilmember Cerro, second from Mayor Pro Tem Flores, Councilmember Sanchez.
Aye.
Councilmember Villarreal
Aye.
and Mayor Serna.
Aye.
Motion carries to table 5-0.
Thank you
Item
so much.
13.
Make a decision. Oh, thank you guys.
That was 13.1.
Yes, 13.1. So we have 12.4 left.
Moving on to item 12.4. Resolution number 24-35, memorializing the receipt of FEM settlement funds and restricting the use of said funds. This will be presented by Dan Paul, City Manager.
Thank you again, Mayor. I'm not gonna go through all of the background on this item because I think we've gone through it several times. But just kind of bringing us up to speed, on September the 10th of this year, the city received actually reached a $9.5 million settlement with SQM North America Corporation. The net distribution amount to the city after payment of attorney fees and case costs is $6,550,533.74. The issue before council tonight is really just to formally acknowledge the receipt of the settlement funds into the city's water enterprise account and ensure their appropriate use. These funds, as we previously indicated, are to be used exclusively for the rehabilitation of well 11, which includes the design, installation, and ongoing maintenance and operation of the two-stage ion exchange system and improving the city's water system. These funds that we have received as a result of this settlement, it is vital for the city to use these funds for designing and installing this ion exchange system. The preliminary estimates that staff has received suggest that the project will cost approximately $5 million. The remainder of the settlement funds will be allocated towards the future operation and maintenance of the system. But tonight, the resolution that's before you formally memorializes the receipt of the funds for the designated project and restricts those funds for any other use. I feel very strongly about bringing this item to council because I feel that it promotes transparency and accountability and ensures that the financial burden of these new improvements for the water system aren't going to be borne by our residents. With everything that the city of Lindsay has been through financially over the past several years, I thought it would be a good idea to memorialize the receipt of these funds, and so the public knows exactly how much the city is receiving, what we intend to do with those funds, and that those funds are restricted for any other purpose. The proposed resolution, first of all, acknowledges the receipt of $6,550,533.74 into the city's water enterprise account. The resolution further designates the funds solely for the rehabilitation of well 11, including the design, installation, and ongoing maintenance and operation of the two-stage ion exchange treatment system and related water system improvements. It prohibits the use or transfer of the funds for any other purpose and also ensures accountability and proper documentation of the fund usage. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions the council may have.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to add that we are working towards transparency and providing that to our citizens. And I think this is a great opportunity to showcase that piece. Just really let them know that the money that we receive is going right back into that system so that we can explore the ion exchange system. So thank you for that, Dan, and I'm good. Does anyone else have a question or comment?
Thank you for bringing it into the meeting, like you said, transparency. As the project starts for well abandoned and money is being, paid for going towards whatever it is that we need, infrastructure, testing and all that, is it possible to even, put it on the website each time that money is being allocated to whatever, to well abandoned? So that way the residents are aware of where that money is going and how much it's being used each time as we go, right, for well abandoned.
So is that like your timeline?
Kind of like a timeline, yeah, you know, as well abandoned is the, whatever needs to be done.
Absolutely. And I've already talked to our finance director about establishing a standalone account just for the receipt of those funds and then also the expenditure. So it'll be very easily to continually track that fund and see where we're at as we progress through the project.
And thank you for not putting it in this general fund.
Okay, on that note, I move to approve resolution.
Oh, hold on. Public comment. Is there, I'm gonna open this item up, for public comment. Is there anybody wishing to make a comment? Hearing none, public comment is not closed. Okay, we have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve resolution 24-35.
Okay, we have a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Flores, second from Councilmember Sanchez, Councilmember Villarreal.
Aye.
Mayor Serna.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, guys,
Thank you, guys.
so at this time, we're gonna move into item 14.1, which is an executive closed session. You guys go ahead and stay put where you guys are. We'll go ahead and reconvene in the office, in the city manager's office. So we'll be back, guys. Hey, guys, we are back. Executive closed session, we have the report at this time. We will now open this up for requests for future items. Anyone request these items?
Someone had emailed me. What's that road, where the packing houses were that they closed?
Which parents?
Yeah, is it
Um,
Oxford?
391 Oxford, that's checking out that goes between Tulare and Hermosa.
Okay, somebody owns a house there, you know who it is?
I don't know who it is, but we are,
Do you know the house?
I do know the house.
Okay. At a certain time, when those packing houses were active and full of life, for some reason, the city decided at that time to close the streets. And they, zoned some of the residential areas in a different manner to where if something happened, if there was a fire, anything that happened, they would not be able to rebuild.
And so with
Right.
that property, there's light industrial. So that is the one property, that house that exists in there. So let's say it does burn down, they don't have to be 70% of that where they can rebuild. I know we have we're generated an email so we can send to the person. Also with that email, it's gonna include that area is in the flood zone. So there's another code section that requires them, if there's any substantial damage to that, then they would have to bring it up code as well. Because they're in the flood zone, so we're gonna provide that information for.
Yeah, because he was talking to me about it and I didn't really clearly understand. I know that at that time, those packing houses really bullied the residential area there. And, you know,
Do you wanna add
those
that? Do you wanna add that?
yeah. And see if we could do right by, whoever lived around there. I don't know if there's any other houses now. There's only one house now? Wow, so they bought out all the other houses.
There's no other houses there on that block.
It's a church, right?
There's a church there, but they can try to change it as well. They can go through the process to change it.
Well, can we make it easier since they were bullied like 20 years ago?
So there is a process to,
There is a process in the council. I can meet with we can put it on for additional item that I can.
Yeah, because that was a total disturbance. I remember when that happened. And I know there were more houses. I think they built a parking lot where some of the houses used to be. And the ones that did not sell are the ones that are being punished for it now.
well, if you wanna add it to future items, I'm okay with that.
You okay?
Um,
Just
It's just-
consensus.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what was the address again?
Please.
You're 393, 391. But the packing house. 391. Oh, that's parcel class.
I think it's 391.
I'm sure there's an email on it somewhere we can find it. Yeah.
That's close.
it's a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's 396.
Okay, so is there any other items for future requests? No one? This meeting is now adjourned.